was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Senator Rand Paul delivers a powerful takedown of Ilhan Omar on live TV in a moment that shook the political world. This wasn't just a debate. It was a battle between two very different visions of America. Rand Paul stood firm in defending the Constitution, freedom, and the values that built this great nation, while Ilhan Omar pushed the same radical talking points we've come to expect from her. In this video, Alyson Reacts breaks down the explosive exchange in full detail, exposing how Rand Paul dismantled Omar's arguments and showed the American people that her radical agenda is not only
I'm in a town where we have a lot of people who are refugees who have come, some from Somalia, some from Bosnia. I've never heard one of them say that America's a terrible place or be unappreciative of our country. Most of them are thankful. I've met people who have come here from behind the Iron Curtain that got away from communism. They're some of the best Americans we have because they really appreciate how great our country is. And then I hear Representative Omar say, "Oh, America's a terrible place. I thought there'd be justice and there's no justice here." And it's like, well, she came here and we fed her, we clothed her, she got welfare, she got school, she got health care, and then lo and behold, she has the honor of actually winning a seat in Congress, and she says we're a terrible country. I think that's about as ungrateful as you can get. And so while I'm not saying we forcibly send her anywhere, I'm willing to contribute to buy her a ticket to go visit Somalia. And I think she could look and maybe learn a little bit about the disaster that is Somalia, that has no capitalism, has no God-given rights guaranteed in a constitution, and has about 7 different tribes that have been fighting each other for the last 40 years. And then maybe after she's visited Somalia for a while, she might come back and appreciate America more.
Georgia seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A.1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
Recognized.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, "I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen." Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, "For as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system." Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
Welcome back to Alyson Reacts. Before we dive into this explosive breakdown, I need you to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Every click helps us fight back against the establishment, against the media spin, and against the radical leftist agenda that wants to silence voices like ours. Together, we can keep the truth alive and build a community that refuses to bow down to political correctness. Now, let's get into what happened when Senator Rand Paul absolutely destroyed Ilhan Omar on live TV. This wasn't just some minor disagreement or a friendly debate. This was a clash between two visions of America, one rooted in our Constitution, in freedom, and in respect for the sacrifices that made this country great, and the other rooted in radicalism, grievance politics, and endless attacks on the very nation that gave Ilhan Omar the opportunity to serve in Congress in the first place. Rand Paul has always been known as someone who doesn't back down. He's thoughtful, principled, and measured in how he approaches these debates. And that's exactly what we saw in this exchange. While Omar relied on emotional talking points and identity politics, Rand Paul cut straight to the heart of the matter with logic and facts. He made it clear that America doesn't need lectures from someone who has a history of downplaying our values while constantly promoting policies that weaken us at home and embarrass us abroad. Omar tried to spin the narrative, as she always does, by painting herself as the victim, suggesting that any criticism of her ideas is somehow racist or Islamophobic. But here's the thing, Rand Paul didn't attack her identity. He attacked her dangerous policies, her radical worldview, and her refusal to acknowledge the greatness of this country. That's what the left can't stand, when their ideology is exposed for what it truly is, without the shield of political correctness to protect them. Rand Paul brought up the importance of defending America's interests, protecting our Constitution, and remembering that our freedoms come at a cost. He highlighted how Omar constantly undermines those principles, whether it's by criticizing law enforcement, demonizing Israel, or excusing bad actors on the world stage. Paul didn't let her off the hook, and that's why this moment resonated with so many people watching. Think about it. How many times have we seen Ilhan Omar speak out against this country, but stay silent when it comes to real enemies of freedom? She'll criticize America and our allies day and night, but you won't hear the same fire when it comes to terrorist regimes or corrupt dictatorships. Rand Paul had the courage to call that out, and he did it with precision. This was a reminder that America needs leaders who won't fold under pressure. Leaders who understand that our Constitution is not up for debate. Leaders who are willing to confront radical ideas, not accommodate them. Rand Paul showed what it means to be a fighter for freedom, someone who isn't afraid to draw the line and say, enough. And here's the bigger picture. What we saw on that stage reflects the struggle happening across America right now. It's not just about one senator and one congresswoman. It's about two very different visions of our future. Do we continue down the road of division, apologies, and radical ideology, or do we return to a path of strength, unity, and unapologetic love for this country? The American people are hungry for leaders like Rand Paul because he represents what so many of us feel deep inside. We are done being told we should be ashamed of our flag, ashamed of our history, or ashamed of our principles. We are proud Americans, and we are not backing down. So, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Rand Paul completely exposed Ilhan Omar's radical hypocrisy? Do you think moments like this are turning the tide against the leftist narrative? Drop your comments below, share your thoughts, and let's keep this conversation alive. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with others. Together, we'll continue to shine a light on the truth, stand for our values, and push back against those who want to tear America apart.